Good afternoon and welcome to the April 20th, 2026 meeting of the Gaston County Board of Education. My name is Josh Crisp and I'm proud to serve as the representative of the Dallas Township, and I serve as your board chair. I would like to ask the other board members to introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Dedman.
Lee Dedman, Gastonia Township.
Robbie Lovelace, Cherryville Township.
Todd Kinlaw, South Point Township.
Jana Smith, Gastonia Township.
Dot Cherry, at-large member.
A.M. Stevens, the Riverbend Township.
Jeff Ramsey, at-large member.
Thank you all. Next on our agenda is our invocation. I'd like to ask Pastor Justin White, Frontline Worship Center, to come up and offer our invocation. Justin won't say it, but Justin's also a proud member of the Gastonia Fire Department for many years, and we thank him for his service there as well. Thank you, Justin.
Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you, Lord, for your many blessings. And Lord, we thank you for education that we can send our children to, that instills a love for learning, that instills knowledge, that teaches them to grow, teaches them, Heavenly Father, how to interact with other students and adults. And Lord, we thank you for that, for we are blessed. And Lord, I ask that in this meeting tonight, that Lord, your wisdom is given, that Lord, people hear from you, that Heavenly Father, you guide decisions that are made, that, Lord, as they talk about budgets, as they talk about pressing forward and moving forward in the future of our students, I pray, Lord, that they do things according to your will and your purpose. I pray, Lord, that clearer heads prevail, Lord, that people are moved by you, and that, Lord, your will be done. And, Lord, I also ask that you protect each and every student in all of our schools, that you protect each teacher and administrator in all of our schools, that, Lord, you watch over them and guard them, whether they're in their classroom or on the ball field, or, Lord, if they're off campus on field trips. We thank you, Lord, for it's in your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Dr. Hushard, if you would lead us in the pledge and our character traits.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I'd like to call Spencer Powers to come forward, please. Spencer is a sixth grader from John Chavis Middle School, and we are happy you are here, Spencer, to lead us in our pledge. So thank you for being here. If everybody will stand. Salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Spencer. And now, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to call up, we have 4 students who are going to present the character trait of the month, which is perseverance. I'd like at this time to call up Kylie Wiggins, Presley Wiggins, Olivia Perez, and Piper Thomas. If you all will come forward, please help them get through from the back. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you all for being here so much. And they are going to introduce the character trait of the month, which is perseverance. You can begin.
Hello, my name is Piper Thomas, and I am a second grader at Carl Elementary School. This month's character trait is perseverance. Perseverance means not giving up, even when something is hard or doesn't go your way. Have you ever tried something that felt really difficult, like a tough math problem, learning to read a new word, or practicing a sport? At first, you might feel frustrated or want to quit. But when you keep trying, even after mistakes, that is perseverance. Every time you try again, you are getting stronger and smarter. Remember, mistakes are not failures, they are a part of learning. The more you practice, the better you become. So today, if something feels hard or don't give up. Take a deep breath, try again, and show perseverance. You can do hard things. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
So next on our agenda, we need to approve our agenda for this evening. We do have a significant amount of folks who have signed up for public expression. We normally allow 30 minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda, adding 15 minutes to public expression time?
So moved.
Ms. Cherry on the motion, Mr. Kinlaw on the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? That's unanimous. And next, we will celebrate our good news happening in our district. Mr. Higgins, will you start us off, please?
Chairman Chris, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Houchard, I am pleased to present to the Board of Education our good news for the month of April, and we have several important items to share with you this evening. First, we would like to introduce Lincoln Smallwood, who is a third grade student at New Hope Elementary School. For the past 12 years, New Hope Elementary has raised more than $112,000 in support of the American Heart Association's Kids Heart Challenge. This year, Lincoln chose to support the school's fundraising efforts in a personal way by doing something he enjoys, art. Through his own initiative, he spent about 6 months creating his art pieces and raised $2,231.90 by selling his artwork and accepting donations. Lincoln's love of art comes from his mother, who also is an artist. Last year, Lincoln created artwork and shared it with people who donated. This year, he reversed that idea and offered his artwork in exchange for donations. He set up a table one afternoon at Confluence South Fork in Cramerton, where community members stopped by and donated to receive one of his original art pieces. His efforts quickly attracted strong community support, turning his passion for art into a meaningful way to help others. At New Hope Elementary, physical education teacher Shelley Burke has helped lead the Kids Heart Challenge, giving students the chance to learn about heart health while also supporting people living with heart-related conditions. Over the past 5 years alone, New Hope Elementary has raised nearly $90,000, showing strong and steady support for this school-wide effort. We extend our sincere appreciation to Lincoln and to the New Hope Elementary students, family, and staff who continue to support this work year after year. It is a strong example of care and generosity in Gaston County Schools, and Ms. Cherry has this presentation.
I have lots of questions for Lincoln, and Tilly, you might as well come on up because I need you to share some few things. First of all, what medium of art do you like the best? Do you paint? Do you do sculpture? What?
I have these miniature canvases, and they have magnets on the back. And I like to make magnets.
Okay. So here we have an artist and an entrepreneur, and you're in what grade?
Third.
I can't even imagine what he's going to be like when he's an adult. So we'll be reading and hearing a lot about Lincoln from the time he gets out of elementary to middle school and high school. Phenomenal to be able to take something that he loves and turn it into a fundraising opportunity for a very, very important group, the American Heart Society and or Association. I'm confusing it with the Gaston Heart Society. Very important. I'm sure that there are plenty of people in this audience that know people that have benefited, that their lives have been changed and saved because of the American Heart Association. So congratulations to you. Thank you for what you do. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next year. And I know your parents are proud. Are they here?
My dad's over there.
Come on, Dad. Come on. Did you encourage him or?
A little.
Okay.
Snow days helped too.
Okay, snow days helped, yeah. Okay. Well, very, very special. Thank you for what you chose to do, and you didn't have to do that. So a lot of people are going to benefit because of your talent and your thoughtfulness. So thank you so much on behalf of the school system, and I hope you'll frame this. Maybe you can paint on it too and show us what you've done. So anybody else? Is Mr. Goff here? No. Okay, so we're going to get some pictures. And I think he deserves a huge round of applause. And next time call me and I'll buy some. So, unless you just shake your face hand. You do.
Okay, thanks, God. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, next we would like to invite Paul Saya, an 8th grader at Belmont Middle School, to come forward. Paul was the winner of the Gaston County Schools Spelling Bee, which was held in February at Ashbrook High School. He earned the title after correctly spelling the word alchemy in the 11th round. Paul went on to represent Gaston County Schools at the Carolina Panthers Regional Spelling Bee in March. This was Paul's second district-wide spelling bee win, and he was excited to return to the regional competition at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte with hopes of qualifying for the Scripps National Spelling Bee. In 2025, Paul placed in the top 15, and we are pleased to announce this evening that this year Paul finished 5th out of 61 district representatives. We certainly are very proud of Paul's success in the spelling bee competition over the years, and we wish him the best of luck as he begins his freshman year of high school next school year. Mr. Stevens has this presentation.
Paul, congratulations, buddy. That's awesome. I always wanted to be a good speller, I just never was. I'm still not. Thank goodness for AI, right? I want to congratulate him for his hard work, continued success. Where are you going to high school? Highland, excellent. That's a great school. You do great things there. I also want to mention to the community that we need community support for activities like spelling bee and robotics. Everybody I think has heard about the budget issues that we have. I have called some of my personal friends and connections in this community and asked for them to support. I would ask you to do the same thing. Business owners or just individuals, neighbors that tend to support activities like education, ask them to give 5, 10, 15, whatever it is that they can give to help support these kids, because this is the foundation of this community. Good, solid public education, taxpayer funded, right? We got to make sure that we're doing everything that we can so they have every opportunity in the world to be successful. Paul, congratulations. Josh, you want to come on up? Paul's family. Paul's family, you want to go ahead and come? Where's he get his spelling from? You? Smart man.
Miss Randall, you told me to tell you. Remember her? She's everywhere. Hey, man. Oh, yeah, I just told him. She said, she's watching.
Okay, good. Next, we would like to recognize 5 students who have been selected for the North Carolina All-State Band Program. We would like to invite them to come forward at this time. We have with us Cyrus Baltimore and Mackenzie Hart, both from East Gaston High School. We have Rose Pichardo from W.C. Friday Middle School, and Bram Comer and Annabelle Radford from Forest View High School. They are unable to attend this evening, but we certainly want to congratulate them as well. These students auditioned in March and earned invitations to participate in the North Carolina All-State Honors Band Clinic, which is coming up May the 1st through the 3rd at UNC Greensboro. Earlier this year, each student also represented Gaston County Schools at the South Central All-District Band Clinic held at Stuart W. Kramer High School. Cyrus performed on the tuba, Mackenzie on oboe, Bram on trombone, Annabelle on bassoon, and Rose on contrabass clarinet. These students are now advancing from the district level to the state level, and we are proud of the opportunity they have to represent Gaston County and perform with the North Carolina All-State Band. With a long list of county, district, and state band honors, we would like to mention that Cyrus has been involved in the All-District Band since the 7th grade, and Mackenzie has been involved in the All-District Band since the 8th grade. Rose has been the first chair contrabass clarinet player for the All-County, All-District, and All-State Band for 2026, which is a significant accomplishment in one school year. For Mackenzie, Annabelle, and Bram, this marks their 2nd or 3rd year participating in the All-State Honors Band Clinic, which shows their continued growth and dedication. These students represent the excellent fine arts programs across Gaston County Schools, and we commend our students, teachers, and directors for their continued commitment to excellence in music education. And Ms. Smith has this presentation.
Yes. So when I was in school, I wanted to be in the band like nobody's business. I bought the flute, I put it on my lips, I rolled it, I tried, I could not make a sound. I was actually asked to leave. So they were like, go right this way, here's chorus. So music is special to me. I wish I was more talented. I wish I had as much talent in your little finger as I do. Or, I'm sorry, that I had as much talent as you do in your little fingers, because obviously you guys are going somewhere with your talents. You are recognized on many levels, and thank you so much for taking advantage of these programs in Gaston County Schools. So let's do Cyrus, Mackenzie, and Rose. Awesome.
Let's do a picture with the directors, and then we'll add in the parents. How does that sound? So we'll ask the directors to come forward. We have Brandon Taylor from East Gaston High School and Cindy Owens from W.C. Friday Middle School. And then we'll invite the parents up in just a moment.
Thank you. One more. Thank you.
Okay, now we have the parents. We'll bring any of parents, family members with us. We'll have them come forward.
This is the first year for hard to listen, but now it's beautiful, isn't it? There we go.
All right, here we go. And one more. Thank you.
Watch the fingers, y'all. They're
Good job, sir.
Next, we have a group with us from Cramerton Middle School, and we'd like for them to come forward at this time. And we have a number of teachers and students, and I think there are more students here that are on my list, so I'm not going to name all the names on my list because I
Todd,
don't want to leave anyone out.
Mr. Higgins, hang on just a second. Let's let that lobby quieten down just a little bit. We don't want to take away anything from these students. Go ahead,
I know
Mr. Higgins. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. I know that there are more students here than I have on my list, so I'm not going to read off names because I don't want to leave anyone out, but I'm glad the students and teachers and the principals are here this evening. We are recognizing Cramerton Middle School, and we proudly recognize Cramerton Middle School as the Gaston County's Padilla School, and in March, Cramerton reached an important milestone by earning National Padilla School for Creative Thinking accreditation from the National Padilla Center. This is the pinnacle of the Padilla program implementation that began in 2019. In recent years, Cramerton earned Padilla Seminar certification, and in 2025, they earned Padilla Classroom certification. Not only is Cramerton the only nationally certified school in North Carolina through the Padilla Center, but they are the only middle school in the country to receive the third level or highest certification, which is a distinction that reflects the strong commitment of the school's faculty, staff, students, and administration to the Padilla model. Padilla Schools for Creative Thinking are based on the belief that schools play a key role in improving student learning. These schools focus on helping students think deeply, discuss ideas, and take meaningful action. In a Padilla school, students are engaged and challenged in all classes, and the school community works together in a supportive and respectful environment. School leaders focus on strong teaching and learning. Families and community members are actively involved, and flexible schedules support creative approaches to instruction. Cramerton Middle School students are also helping support learning beyond their own school. Recently, student ambassadors, and we have some of them with us tonight, visited Pleasant Ridge Elementary School's Gifted and Talented Academy and helped lead a Padilla seminar. They did an excellent job guiding discussions with the elementary school students as they explored a variety of themes and topics. This achievement highlights Cramerton Middle School's commitment to creating a learning environment where students and teachers engage in meaningful discussion, critical thinking, and creative exploration. The Padilla approach serves as the foundation of Cramerton's Gifted and Talented Academy and continues to support academic excellence and a strong love of learning across the school community. Congratulations on this award, and Ms. Smith and Mr. Ramsey are going to make this presentation.
First of all, that is an awesome job. I remember a couple of years ago, y'all came up and did a classroom moment with it, and I was blown away how y'all was communicating. Y'all also, I saw where y'all respected each other's opinion and didn't override them or anything. You took that and consumed it, and then you delivered yours. Also, y'all represent Gaston County Schools State. I think they're #1 in the state, the only school that's got this award. I understand. Wow, that's huge.
You need a helping hand, since you've only got one? All right, here we go, we'll have 2 people. I know there's a story behind that cast, I want to know. There you go. Yeah, well, I wanted to say thank you. I am blessed to have my children go to this school. Actually, Mr. Sproul, I hear about all of your wardrobes and costumes, so thank you for keeping the school interesting. But absolutely, this group right here, you were the ones that are leading the way for the rest of the standards in our school. And thank you so much for listening to each other and working together with such leadership skills at such a young age. So thank you so much for just being so impressionable to the generations that are coming behind you. Thank you to a great administration, and just keep up the good work. Thank you. Oh, Fabian. No, I'm in the back. I'll be gone.
You're good right there. You're good. Miss Bradley, if I can put you right between these two students, there you go. And Miss Cole, you can slide this way, Miss Cole. I think we got it, buddy. All right, there we go. And one more. All right, thank you.
Parents?
Very proud parents, someone come up with that. Yeah. Just hands around him like this.
I'm gonna go behind Lena.
There you go, there we go. Maybe you slide this way, and then Miss Thompson, put you back here, please. Yeah, there you go. All right. That's all. And one more. All right, thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, we have one additional group to recognize, and we're recognizing one of our outstanding community partners, and we would like to ask the representatives from the Gaston Arts Council to come forward. And Sean, you may have to let them know in the lobby that. I see them, they're coming. Here they are. We are pleased this evening to recognize the Gaston Arts Council. With us are Stephanie Newman, the Interim Executive Director for the Gaston Arts Council. Also, we have with us Dr. Rusty Parker. He is our Director of Career and Technical Education and also serves as a member of the Gaston Arts Council Board. And are there other representatives with you? It's just you. We're glad you're here. Last week, Gaston County Schools hosted the All-County Middle School Band and Chorus concerts. These performances featured students who earned their placement through a competitive audition process representing some of the most talented young musicians and singers from across the district. We are extremely grateful to the Gaston Arts Council for awarding a $1,600 grant to help support guest clinicians for these events. This support allows students to learn directly from experienced professionals who provide focused instruction that strengthens music skills and enhances the overall performance experience. This partnership reflects a shared commitment to expanding access to the arts across Gaston County. Through investments like this, the Gaston Arts Council helps create meaningful opportunities for students and artists while also supporting programs that enrich the cultural life of our community. Because of this support, students are able to grow in confidence, refine their talents, and collaborate with peers from across the district. Gaston County School, we value our partnership with the Gaston Arts Council, and we appreciate your continued interest in the arts education and the benefits that it has for students and for this community. And Mr. Chairman has this presentation.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'll echo Mr. Stevens' comments from earlier. It takes a community to help us do this. It's the only way we can make it successful. So thank you for what you do. Rusty, thank you for being the outreach part of the board. So next we have a proclamation, Mr. Higgins.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that completes the good news portion of our meeting. And now we have our Teacher Appreciation Week proclamation for Gaston County Schools. And at this time, I will read the proclamation, and then I will introduce our guest, and then we will put the proclamation before the board for consideration and approval. The proclamation reads, it's for Teacher Appreciation Week, May the 4th through the 8th, 2026. Whereas Gaston County Schools is proud to join school districts across the country in celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week, May 4th through the 8th, and National Teacher Day on Tuesday, May 5th. And whereas Teacher Appreciation Week is a time for communities to come together to lift up teachers and show support for what all educators do each day to go above and beyond expectations and provide a quality teaching and learning experience for all students. And whereas in the classroom, teachers transform ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities, and they turn curiosity into confidence, challenges into triumphs, and passion into purpose. And whereas the teachers in Gaston County Schools are committed to ensuring student success through a concentrated effort, focus on higher academic achievement and life-enriching opportunities in a variety of areas, including athletics, the fine arts, extracurricular activities, college prep, career training, and internships. And whereas our educators in Gaston County Schools embrace the responsibility of ensuring that children gain the knowledge and skills necessary to be productive beyond graduation, thus preparing them to become lifelong learners and contributing members of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved to honor all teachers for their important contributions to our schools and diligent efforts to positively influence the leaders of tomorrow. The Gaston County Board of Education is pleased to proclaim the week of May 4th through the 8th, 2026, Teacher Appreciation Week in Gaston County Schools, and encourages students, parents, alumni, and everyone in the community to express their appreciation for teachers. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be made a part of the minutes of the Board of Education adopted this the 20th day of April 2026. And Mr. Chairman, the Teacher Appreciation Week proclamation is being presented to the board for consideration and approval. And once the board approves the proclamation, we have our guest here to accept it on behalf of all teachers in Gaston County Schools.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Do I have a motion to accept the proclamation? Mr. Kinlaw, second. Ms. Smith, any discussion on the proclamation? Hearing none, all, yes, sir.
I think it needs to be every day of the year for Teacher Appreciation.
Thank you, Mr. Debon. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, with us this evening to accept this proclamation on behalf of our teachers, we have John Ramos from Forest View High School. Mr. Ramos is the current 2025-2026 Gaston County Teacher of the Year. We have Brandon Taylor from East Gaston High School, he was the 2024-2025 Teacher of the Year. Richard Morris from Forest View High School is with us. He is the 2025-26 Linda Rader New Teacher of the Year. And Emma Richardson from North Belmont Elementary School, was the 2024-25 Linda Rader New Teacher of the Year for Gaston County Schools. And Dr. Huchard has this presentation.
I want to thank you on behalf of the board and you as every teacher for everything you do every day to affect positively the lives of children. It's invaluable what you do, and this plaque isn't enough to say thank you, but I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, guys.
And one more. Thank you.
Thank you. You all can go around. So those ones.
So next on our agenda is our classroom moment. This item gives the board and the community an opportunity to see good things happening in our classroom every day. Tonight is going to be introduced by Ms. Tyler West, who's focusing on the America 250 project, which is a bipartisan initiative designed to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Its aim is to engage all Americans in celebrating our nation's history. Ms. West?
Thank you so much. Good evening, Chairman Crisp, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Huchard. I'm pleased to share with you some of the ways that Gaston County's elementary schools are participating in this national initiative, America 250. As you said, our nation is approaching its 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 2026. So communities across the country are preparing to reflect on our history and celebrate the ideals that shaped our democracy. Schools play a very special role in this milestone, and across our district, teachers and students are already bringing America 250 to life. Our schools have incorporated America 250 into Read Across America Week, parent engagement events, and musical performances. For example, Belmont Central Elementary's music teacher, Ann Bame, hosted a program of songs and speaking parts called Happy Birthday America, and students at Page Primary solved patriotic riddles to uncover the location of the Liberty Bell, which was hidden somewhere in their school. While many events have already taken place, there are several opportunities for you and the public to celebrate and see our students perform this month. McAdenville Elementary is hosting a Red, White, and Sing outdoor event tomorrow night, April 21st at 6 p.m. Brookside second grade students will perform for the school at 12:30 this Friday. And Carr Elementary's first graders are hosting a patriotic spring concert on April 26th at 5:30 p.m. We would also like to share some of the creative academic lessons and art projects that we have seen throughout the district. Students in Tabitha Wood's AIG class performed skits on a green screen, that's what you see there in that picture, to celebrate the semi-quincentennial. Artwork decorates the halls of many of our schools, and this is an example from one of our A+ Arts Integration schools. And these are some beautiful American flag quilts made by the students at Carr Elementary. We've also benefited from community partners who are celebrating this national milestone with us. The National Society of Colonial Dames donated 174 children's books to our elementary school libraries. The books are part of a 6-title series about the American Revolution, and they include an America 250 bookmark to help our students learn more about the nation's history. Gaston County was also one of North Carolina's counties that participated in a statewide flag contest for 4th grade students. A team of judges selected Sterling Elliott from W.A. Bess as the runner-up. She was recognized at the April 14th Board of Commissioners meeting for this. And tonight's Classroom Moment video highlights 2 of our America 250 celebrations. The first one, Community and Country Day at Bess Elementary School, and a wax museum and student performance at H.H. Beam Elementary School. Together, these moments show how our students are learning about America's past while celebrating the community and the country that they are shaping today.
As the fall started and we started talking about our celebrations of our country's 250th birthday, we thought what a better way is to add in the celebration of our country's birthday along with the community. Our hope is that our students learn from our people in the community. They learn from the experiences. They learn how our people impact our lives every day and also our country. Because our country is not only shaped by historical facts and historical events, but also the people who live here. Our children are able to experience firsthand, hear from real people, and really get caught up in the moment. And we're hoping that what happens here today, they will remember for a lifetime. What a joy it has been for all of us here at W.A. Bess, our teachers and all of our staff and all of our students, just learning about our community and the special events that led to the birth of our country and just celebrating everything.
Building 2 summers ago, we found a cassette tape recording of the 1976 South Gastonia Elementary School 6th graders singing America the Beautiful. And we held on to that because it was very cool. It was a cassette tape that actually had children of that era singing. And so we knew with America 250 coming up that we wanted to celebrate now just like they celebrated back in 1976. We're also doing a wax museum with our 3rd and our 5th grade students. They are depicting many different figures in American history, from a modern history Jackie Chan all the way to George Washington. So we have a wide array of people that we're celebrating tonight. Our 4th graders have also been learning about the 50 nifty states, and so we have a display in our hallway of all of our 4th grade students and the research that they've been doing about our 50 states across the Union. It's so important to us because we believe that in order to know where we're going, we have to know where we've come from. And we teach our children that history happened, it's valid, and we have so many important parts of history that we need to celebrate and cherish and honor. So we wanted our students to understand that for America 250, we are celebrating 250 years of this great, glorious country that we live in.
50 United States from 13 original colonies. 50 stars in a flag that billows so beautifully in the breeze.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to spotlight our classroom and our schools.
Thank you, Tyler. So, I mean, as the community can see, and I know our board recognizes this, between all the good news and the classroom moments that we get to see, we have a tremendous system and tremendous things happening, and we can't help but thank our teachers and our staff and all the parents and students for what they do to help make this a great system. So thank you all. Next on our agenda is public expression. This time, the board will hear comments from citizens about matters of public concern relating to the school system. Our board policy sets aside 30 minutes. We, by motion of the board, have extended that to 45 minutes tonight of our regular monthly meeting for citizens to address the board. Before we hear from the public, let me outline the rules and procedures. Citizens wishing to make comment who have completed a request to speak form prior to the beginning of the meeting will be recognized by the chair and then requested to step to the microphone to make their comments. Citizens will state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Members of the board do not respond to public expression during the public comment period. Public expression does not allow for comments on confidential or personnel matters. Speakers who wish to give materials to the board will hand them to the board clerk, Ms. Beck. The chair shall rule on all points of order during public expression. Again, we've extended that to 45 minutes tonight. If you will pay attention, please, I will try to call 3 people at one time in the order of where I have their names. We will try to get to as many people as possible. So first I have Miss Brooke Graves, Brittany Elking, and David Chee. Ms. Graves, the microphone is yours.
Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes, is a famous quote by Maggie Kuhn. Forgive me if my voice shakes, as I am used to a much younger and smaller audience. I'm a lifelong resident of Gaston County. I'm a product of Gaston County schools. From the time I was little, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. When I graduated college, there was no question where I wanted to be. I came home to Gaston County schools. I wanted to be for my students what my teachers were for me. Because of the current hiring freeze across this county, there are students who have had substitutes for months and will continue to for the remainder of the school year. A lot of those same students will be expected to take and pass an EOG in May. On April 14th, a post was made to the Gaston County Schools Facebook page advertising job openings for instructional coaches and other advanced teaching roles. The post stated that these positions would be funded by grants and Title I money. Meanwhile, we just had to borrow $10 million from the county commissioners to make payroll until June. And schools have had their Title I budgets slashed by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why can't we fund positions that work directly with students? What happens when those grants run out? What is the plan for those positions then? Several employees have already been told they will no longer have a job come June, many of which were positions that provided direct student support. We were told on March 18th that my school had 6 boxes of paper left for the entire year. We were expected to just make it work because no more could be purchased. We are handed curriculum that doesn't meet our students' needs, especially when so many are considered below grade level, and then told, well, every student has a Chromebook. Our students do not need more screen time. They need pencils, paper, and hands-on learning. Money was spent painting walls in buildings that are 60-plus years old, the same color they were before. Some of those same buildings are filled with dust, mold, and asbestos tile that we're told is safe. We aren't provided basic supplies. We rely on donations and personal funds to get by. In the last decade, something has shifted here in Gaston County schools, and not for the better. I'm asking the questions that every teacher, every parent, and every community member should be asking. Where has our money gone? What is the plan so that this doesn't happen again? I'm tired of staying quiet. We are tired of being stretched beyond capacity. We're tired of being expected to do more with less year after year, and we're angry. We are not just numbers on a piece of paper. We are real people who are affected by the decisions you are making. Lastly, I challenge each of you in front of me to come spend a whole day with a teacher here in Gaston County. Come see the mess that has been made in our schools, and let's work together to clean it up.
My name is Brittany Elkin. My address is 3012 High Ridge Court. Regarding the issue that I know a lot of people will probably talk about tonight, I do want to say that this is not a matter of free speech, but a matter of leadership participating in sowing division and promoting hate for members of the community that he represents. Mr. Kinlaw should resign, but if he refuses, he should be censured. Now, as a citizen in this county, I should not be the one asking teachers what they need, but I am. I should not be the one digging through budgets trying to figure out where the money is going, but I am. And I should not be the one educating parents on how their children are being consistently placed at the bottom of the list of priorities in this county. But here I stand, the second government meeting I'm speaking at in a month, and I'll keep showing up. Because many of us no longer trust that our elected officials are doing what is best for our children. That is why this room is packed. I am doing what all of you should be doing, public-facing advocacy for our schools. I understand that part of this issue rests at the state level, and I understand that you have requested significant budget increases from the county commissioners and only been given a small portion of what you asked for. My question is, where is your voice on this issue? Where is your voice? Each and every one of you should be louder than I am. I should not be the voice of people who are frustrated in this county. You should be. But we don't feel like you are. We don't see posts or statements or big statements about how our governments on the state level and the county level is failing us. We're not hearing any of that from you. So my question is less what is happening to us and what are you doing about it? I recently sent out an anonymous survey to Gaston County teachers and staff, and after nearly 200 responses, the message is clear. There is a culture of fear. Teachers do not feel heard. They feel overworked, underpaid, and stretched beyond capacity. That should concern every single person in this room because we are losing teachers left and right to counties on all sides where they are going to be paid more. They don't want to leave. That's what I keep hearing, but they're going to have to at some point because they can't pay their bills. And ultimately, our children are going to pay the price. So at a minimum, what we need from you is a focus on cutting anything but the people who care for our children every day.
Good evening. Thank you, Superintendent Houchard, Chairman Crisp, and the esteemed members of the Board of Education. This is David Chi, 1942 Sparkling Stream Drive in Belmont. I'm here to talk about something. I distributed some information to you. I hopefully had a chance to read it. If not, I'm just going to paraphrase it here. I'm here to talk about optimism. As we face future budget cuts in the following school fiscal year, I was hoping and suggesting a direction that you folks will do in preparing your budget. And I've spoken to who is available as far as school improvement team, parent representatives. And I want to talk about the folks most at risk in this county. I'm not speaking for my city of Belmont, I'm speaking for the whole county. I'm proud of this county. I actually contribute as a girls' high school volleyball referee, so I've been through the whole county. I love this place. What's at issue is the 5 schools that were underperforming in school year 2024 through 2025. Obviously, the test scores have not come in yet. I don't have the data, but I'm sure you'll be looking at it very carefully. The 5 schools in question are the 5 primary and elementary schools, namely Bessemer City Elementary, Bessemer City Primary, Lingerfeld, Sherwood, and Wood Hill. What I would like to see, and hopefully you'll have the wisdom and heart to do that, is to take a look at the staff levels of those schools and try to retain them as best as possible instead of doing just a straight mathematic percentage cross-cut across the county. These schools need to sustain their progress towards achieving and improving their grades to get from a performance grade. If you folks are not aware, their performance grade last year was an F. We'd like to try to raise that up to a D, hopefully higher, and also, if not at all possible, one of the other key elements of that grading is 20% of that is based on showing progress. What does progress mean? It obviously entails having good staff levels to go along with the support of the parents and the positive attitude of the students to succeed. That's what we're looking for. I'd like to see some help there from the administration and also from the Board of Education towards achieving that goal. That way we can say a year from now, we all made our best effort and we can see it reflected in the grades and seeing the attitudes. Let's go visit those schools. Let's see, let's go to their public meetings and see how they're doing. But the key thing is if we don't do that, if we just arbitrarily just check off and say, let's just do a straight line across the board, then we're doing disservice to those schools that are clearly in need. And I thank you for your time, and I look forward to hopefully another great school year for those schools and continuing their progress. All right, thank you.
All right, the next three are Sean Bates, Diona Graham, and Ann Doss Helms.
Good evening, everybody. I am Sean Bates, president of the Gastonia NAACP, branch 5394B, 201 West Franklin. As always, the mission of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People is to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights of all persons, and to eliminate racial hatred and racial discrimination, which is why we're here tonight. Mr. Kinlaw needs to go ahead and step down. We're beyond the point in which an apology would be acceptable. Our Muslim students are now being told they're part of a satanic death cult. Our students are also receiving Nazi waves in hallways. And our black students are getting called niggers. And they're told boys will be boys. Where do we put a stop to this if you guys don't stand up now? To not speak up is being complacent. There's been nothing that such language is not acceptable. It just continues on. You guys managed to fire somebody for much less, and you had reason behind it. Now, I'm not saying that he's necessarily a bad person, but he's lost his way as far as being able to represent all students. You as a board are expected to do better by all students. You were elected because you had principles based in the safety and security of education of all students. And when these are not being upheld, the whole system fails. We have students that are scared, and you guys should feel personally responsible for that. Nobody's saying that Christianity is bad. We're saying you have to be inclusive. And you have to be truly inclusive from the beginning and never state otherwise. That's all.
Islam is a satanic death cult, Allah is Satan, and Muhammad is a false prophet. Those are the words of Todd Kinlaw, a current school board member. Now, they are not just
Ms. Graham, if you please follow the rules and state your name, please.
I will. They are not
Before
just
you continue, please.
My name is Deonda Graham, Vice President of the NAACP Gastonia Branch 5394B.
Thank you, ma'am.
Those words are not just indefensible, they are hateful and completely unacceptable. Now let's call it what it is: religious bigotry and ugliness. I stand here tonight because something deeply wrong has happened. Hate was spoken boldly, and the silence that followed made it even louder. As members of this board, you were entrusted with shaping the policies and governing our schools. Policies that meant to ensure that every child, regardless of background or beliefs, feels safe, respected, and valued. When a leader publicly expresses hatred toward an entire religion, that undermines its mission at its core. So, how can you claim to serve all students while publicly dehumanizing some of them? You cannot. And yes, free speech is a right, but leadership is a choice. And that choice demands a higher standard. One where words build, not destroy, protect, and not divide. See, Genesis 1:26 reminds us that we were all created in God's image, equal in dignity. And even Jesus challenged those who use religion to harm others. See, being a Christian means loving your neighbor and not weaponizing faith. Our trust was broken. Your very own policies prohibit language that disturb the educational environment. So I ask plainly, if that does not violate the standards, what does? We've seen a teacher terminated for the very same thing. And Todd, you offered no apology. You buckled down. So let me be clear. Calling for your resignation is not an extreme. It is the bare minimum required to begin restoring trust. Because leadership without accountability is not leadership, it's privilege. And if this board refuses to act, the community will. We will remember you at the ballot box, every last one of you. There is already enough hate and division in this county, in this country. But here in Gaston County,
Ms. Graham, your time is
we
up.
have a different choice. We can choose courage and
Ms.
silence.
Graham, your time is up.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ann Doss Helms, South Point Township. I'm here as chair of Indivisible Gaston, a grassroots nonpartisan group that promotes democracy, diversity, and decency. We believe that Todd Kinlaw's anti-Islamic post on social media violates the board's policy against discrimination and harassment. Since he appears unwilling to apologize or resign, we call on the board as a whole to censure him and reaffirm your support for students of all religions. Here's the irony. Most of us, probably all of us, who are here to take a stand against religious bigotry also stand for public education. We want our state legislators and county commissioners to provide more funding for teacher pay and other essential functions. We want to see this district get its financial house in order and do all it can to protect the jobs of school employees. Above all, we want to see you promote higher academic achievement for all of our students. Mr. Kinlaw's unprofessional post and your half-hearted response to it are alienating the people who want to stand with you. I have a lot to say about how you're making it harder for everyone in Gaston County schools to do their vital work. But I also understand that we have employees, students, and parents here who want to speak. So I've given a copy of my full remarks and the Indivisible Gaston statement to the clerk, and I will yield the rest of my time to clear the way for more voices. Thank you.
So the next three speakers, and if you would, please go ahead and come and line up so we can make sure we hear from as many people as possible. Ellie Christie, Jabril Huff, and Barbara Walls. Excuse me, Eli.
My name is Eli Christie. I live at 3007 Acre Drive. Hello, my name is Eli Christie from Beam Intermediate, and I'm here, and I'm skipping my baseball game to be here to talk to you today. I believe that 5th grade students should not have to move to John Chavis Middle School. Chavis is a new place for 5th grade. It is not age appropriate, the buses would not have good behavior, and our events and activities would not be the same as other people in our county. I don't think we should go to Chavis, and one of the main reasons is it is not age appropriate. People who are older do different things than a 5th grader who is not as independent and cannot handle carrying their items from class to class. Behavior is different and bullying can be an issue, and the age difference will cause more of this because of our smaller size. Buses would not work because a 10-year-old is not meant to be with an 18-year-old who are unable to get their license. There would not be space for another grade level or more kids to stay away as much as possible. The 5th graders would not be ready to be in or even witness fights. Chavis for 5th graders is not a good idea because we will miss out on events and activities. We will miss out on field day and clubs because John Chavis does not have clubs for 5th graders. Have you heard of Math Masters, Battle of the Books, robotics? All of this 5th grade will miss out on. And the fact that we lack a playground, which is important for 5th graders' development. All of these reasons should convince you that 5th graders should not go to John Chavis. My school is named out of a member of my church family's dad who is a dedicated leader to Cherryville. Also a board member, like all you are, who was once quoted by W.T. Robinson as being as sturdy and durable as a rock, and his loyalty was dependable as the rising of the sun. This is my hope for W. Beam in our future, the future of our little town. I learned to write this essay in the place that I was considering being closed and shut down. Please listen to me as a student that will be affected. Take my words seriously and cast your votes wisely.
Good evening. I'm Jabril Huff from the Steel Creek community in Charlotte. In Islam, we believe that the believer does not sleep well at night if their neighbor is hungry. We also use that same analogy when we look at justice, and that's why I'm here tonight calling for justice in this case. I think the Gaston County School Board should seek Ken Law's immediate dismissal. There should be no room for anyone in a position of leadership in our public government schools promoting such Islamophobic hatred propaganda. Our school system serves a very diverse demographic, including a growing Muslim population. This type of language puts our students in danger. The type of language from the top contributes to the atmosphere that could produce more and put the safety of our Muslim students at risk. Our first priority, even before teaching our students, is their safety and creating an atmosphere where they feel welcome, which results in schools that are conducive to learning. If we can't create a safe space for our Muslim children, their lives will be at risk. Our first priority should be, even before teaching our students, is their safety and creating an atmosphere where they feel welcome, which results in schools that are conducive to learning. If we can't create a safe space, then our students will not learn. The God of Islam is the same God of all the Abrahamic faiths, and that includes Christianity.
No, sir.
We can differ, but we must respect our dignity. We must have respect and dignity for all. While he has the First Amendment right to say and post what he pleases, he's in a position of leadership in a public-funded government school, and he's held to a higher standard. His position comes with a higher responsibility, and he has produced a failing grade. He must go, especially since he's shown no remorse for his damaging social media post. Again, we're here calling for justice. A part of that is his removal. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Barbara Walls from 218 Dogwood Drive, Mount Holly. And last Thursday in my American history class, I was reading to my students from Everson versus Board of Education, like I've done for over 40 years at colleges and universities across North Carolina and Florida, and I thought those words would be appropriate for this forum tonight. From Everson versus Board of Education, 1947, the Supreme Court stated that the definition of the Establishment Clause that all must follow, including, as the title suggests, boards of education. Remember, 1947. Mr. Justice Black delivering the opinion of the court. The establishment of religious clause of the First Amendment means at least this: neither a state nor the federal government can set up a church, neither can pass laws which aid one religion, aid all religions, or prefer one religion over another. Neither can force nor influence a person to go away from or remain away from, or will or force him to profess a belief or disbelief in any religion. No person can be punished for entertaining or professing religious beliefs or disbeliefs, for church attendance or non-attendance. No tax in any amount, large or small, can be levied to support any religious activity or institutions, whatever they may be called, in whatever form they may adopt to teach or practice religion. Neither a state nor the federal government can openly, secretly participate in the affairs of any religious organization or groups, and vice versa. In the words of Jefferson, the clause against establishment of religion by law was intended to erect a wall of separation of church and state. Mr. Kinlaw's Facebook page was a serious infringement of the public trust that school board members will abide by standards established by the Constitution. His post was wrong. It was hateful. It was insulting. It was shameful. It was a lot of things. But most importantly, it negatively impacts upon the credibility of the Gaston County Board of Education. Such a blatant disregard for basic constitutional standards calls into question the very legitimacy of this body. Mr. Kinlaw should resign. And on another note, because it's important, I wish every member of this board had been in attendance with me yesterday at Highland Technical School's final but wonderful performance of Legally Blonde. I wish you could have seen the students' level of grief at knowing their beloved theater program was ending due to this board's actions. It was heartbreaking. Everyone needs to recognize that supporting our students is the most important thing we can do. At the very least, we should do no harm.
So our next three speakers are Omar Marzouk, Tyler Beam, and Ms. Dot Guthrie.
Hello, board. My name is Omar Marzouk. I'm with the Charlotte Muslim Caucus. I'm a guest and resident of the Dutchman's Meadow community. So I want to start with, it was impressive what I saw about the students coming up and showing their achievements, and this makes me an advocate for public schools. But thinking about it, that one day I might come here and hear a board member say that my religion, my God, and my prophet are Satan and devil and all kinds of stuff, make me worry to bring my son here to shake his hand. Mr. Kinlaw, you called my religion devilish. I am a Muslim, and I speak for a lot of Muslims in the community when I say that this is offensive. Actually, to be honest with you, I have a few points here to share, and I have a call to action from you. First thing first, your words have weight. They have a lot of weight. There's an incident that happened recently at Audrey Kelly, in which a lady who wears a hijab, a student, was beaten until her face was broken. Your words could influence a similar student who is a teenager and have raging hormones and might be radicalized a little bit to do something similar to that. And who takes responsibility for that, sir? People like you, whose words have weights. You're a politician. Your words are not in vacuum. Second point, sir. 48% of Muslim students experience religion violence according to the study by the Social Policy Institution. And that's a fact, and that's what you're reinforcing and supporting. Another thing I want to share with you, Islam teaches us and say that the closest to us in affection and kindness are going to be what? The Christians, our Christian friends and neighbors. That is because the Quran say they are not arrogant, but sir, you were very arrogant. When you were asked to apologize, Your response was, I do not regret this except to a little degree. That is very insulting. And it's insulting because when you say you don't regret it much, first of all, you don't regret calling Allah Satan. I'm Lebanese, I speak Arabic, and I could tell you all my Christian neighbors, when they talk about God, they refer to him as Allah. Pick any Arabic Bible, and that's the name you're going to see. So that is something I'm educating you on. The second point is, if you're saying that, if you do not want to humble down and express that you're being arrogant, I will remind you of what Jesus said in John 8. Jesus in John 8 said to the Pharisee Jews when they approached him, saying that they are the children of Abraham, he said, the children of Abraham do what Abraham did. You are the children of the devil. Muslims pray 5 times a day and worship God. Muslims do not take ushery, they do not drink, they do not fornicate to their best. I do not think you are doing not what Abraham said, what Jesus himself said to do. And you know what this is? Be a peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers, or love your enemy. Sir, I'm not going to ask you today to apologize. I'm not going to ask you to resign, sorry. A lot of people ask you already. I'll expect you to apologize. Otherwise, just like my time is about to be up, November elections are coming, and soon your time might be up by my Christian friends here and by Muslim community. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you to the board for allowing me to speak. I'm Dr. Tyler Beam, a lifelong resident of Cherryville. I attended Cherryville Public Schools and now have 2 children, a son in the 7th grade at John Chavis Middle School and a 4th grader at W.B. Beam Intermediate School. I'll get right to the point, as I know I have very limited time to address such an important topic. When I received the news the other week that Gaston County Schools was facing a budget deficit and W.B. Beam was being considered as a possible school closure, I felt a lot of different emotions. First of all, I was quite upset hearing the news, knowing firsthand the role W.B. Beam Intermediate has had in alleviating overpopulation at Cherryville Elementary and John Chavis Middle School. As the news hit the media, to be honest, I felt a little embarrassed because I'm proud of this school district, but I was embarrassed at how the school district could misallocate such a large sum of money. While I understand COVID funding has dwindled away, enrollments have decreased, birth rates are on decline, costs are going up, as a citizen of this county, I find there is still no excuse for an error this monumental to take place. A recent article in WRAL out of Raleigh addressed this very same topic with other school districts, and the article acknowledged that when districts should have been preparing for all of these challenges over the last few years, many instead chose to hire more. The article also stated that unfortunately, leadership in many school districts are inept at addressing and reducing budgets in a manner that keeps them fiscally responsible and sustainable. This evening, I would like to implore board members to step up and demand accountability in the leadership of this school system. First of all, I realize the Chief Financial Officer is no longer with Gaston County Schools and has received much of the blame for the accounting practices that led to this shortfall. In the corporate world, when errors like this occur, boards that act in the best interest of their respective organizations demand answers from the top down. I would expect the same to be done in this situation. Dr. Hushard should have been well aware of everything that takes place in this school system. I would expect him to be held accountable as well and provide answers to why the school system is in this situation. The fact the board is relying on the same leader to right this ship with what just happened is very alarming to me. I am not in education. I am a healthcare professional. But I, like many individuals, are clearly concerned about how things may turn out in the future based on recent headlines and inaction by this board. The only thing that I know that has taken place thus far is the decision to consider studying the closure of W.B. Beam Intermediate and the layoffs of 174 people last week across the district for the next school year. I have spoken to Robbie Lovelace, our representative, on 2 occasions, and she has told me she was unaware when the news of W.B. Beam Intermediate closure hit the news, and she was also unaware of the layoffs last week. It's apparent to me either the board isn't aware of the decisions being made or there is a lack of transparency. Can the board answer a few questions that I believe a lot of parents and residents of Cherryville would like to know? Who is conducting the feasibility study? What are their qualifications to do so? What are the parameters of the study? Will it consider future growth 3, 5, and 10 years down the road for the Cherryville area? Will it include studying Tryon Elementary, which is a feeder school to Cherryville? Tryon Elementary has vacant classrooms and over half empty. Would you please consider that? And also, what about the... Okay, thank you. Please consider these.
I am Dot Guthrie. I reside at 526 Shadowview Drive, Gastonia, North Carolina. And I am here to advocate for school librarians. This is National Library Week. I must admit that I was a bit disappointed when I did not hear a proclamation presented to school librarians. The theme this year is Finding Joy. What better way for school librarians to motivate young readers than to place a book, the right book, in the right hand of the right child at the right time? So we are asking you, board members, to, as you decide to cut your staff, we're asking you to please, and I'm going to say this for 4 schools where I have seen growth from October till now: Lingerfeld, Pleasant Ridge, H.H. Beam, and Woodhill. Those children are more attentive. I see them once a week. I see more than 150 children from the 4 innovation schools once a week. And I can tell you that from October till now, comprehension, recall, and just the love of books and learning, I have witnessed that from Dr. Leanne Conyers and the wonderful staff that work with students in the Aspire After School program. Books, teaching library skills, and collaborating with teachers. If you find it necessary to cut a staff, a media specialist staff, I challenge you and offer you my time this evening. Find a designated time during the school year in the fall and allow the children to log on, and I will continue to share media literacy skills. Thank you.
So our next 3 are Megan McGrath, Julie Vaga, and Victor Horst.
Good evening. Megan McGrath, 4344 Timberwood Drive, Gastonia. I'm Megan McGrath. I'm the parent of a 1st grader and a 5th grader in this district. I'm here tonight not as an expert in finance at all, but as someone who sees every day what your decisions mean inside a classroom. My children don't talk about budgets when they come home. They talk about their teachers. They talk about the staff who help them feel safe, who notice when they're struggling, or even when they need a challenge, who stay late and who care deeply. Those are the people who make our schools work. So when we talk about budget restructuring, I want to be very clear. Removing teachers and school-based support staff is not restructuring. It's weakening the very foundation of our schools. If staff reductions must happen, they should start first from the top down, not the classroom up. We need to ask harder questions about administrative overhead, duplicated roles, and non-instructional spending. We need transparency about where resources are going and whether those expenditures are directly improving student outcomes. Because from a parent perspective, it's simple. If it doesn't help students learn, grow, and feel supported, it should not come at the expense of those who do. And just as important as keeping teachers in the classroom is keeping them in our district. Teacher retention must be a priority. I am tired of watching great teachers leave for neighboring counties. My 1st grader has already experienced this twice. 2 years, 2 teachers gone. That kind of instability matters. It affects learning, it affects trust, and it affects how children feel about school. We need to be asking, why are teachers leaving? And what can we do to make them stay? Whether it's competitive pay, better support, manageable workloads, or simply making sure they feel even just valued. Those are investments that pay off directly in student success. Our teachers are already stretched thin. Our support staff are already doing more with less. Removing them doesn't create efficiency. It creates burnout, larger class sizes, less individual attention, and ultimately poor outcomes for our children. This is not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about real kids, my kids, sitting in those classrooms. I'm asking you to prioritize what matters most, protect the people who directly serve students every day, restructure in a way that reflects your stated commitment to education in the classrooms, not just words, but in actions. Because at the end of the day, a strong school system isn't built from the top down, it's built from the classroom up. Thank you so much for your time.
Good evening, board members. My name is Julie Vanaga, 2351 Hampton Meadows Lane, proudly in Cramerton, North Carolina. I am also a proud parent of a senior at Stuart Cramer High School this year, but I'm also a 6th grade social studies teacher at Bessemer City Middle School in Gaston County. I want to thank the board for your service to our students and for the opportunity to share a teacher's perspective. Our school system is currently facing a $1.1 million budget shortfall that in reality did not appear overnight. Positions that support instruction, student growth, and day-to-day school operations are on the chopping block, while the root of the problem lies in how the budget was constructed in the first place. At some point, we have to ask difficult but necessary questions about priorities and accountability. Every dollar removed from the classroom represents a lost opportunity for our students. Larger class sizes, fewer resources, and less individualized support. Yet we continue to hold schools and teachers to a high performance standard without providing the necessary tools to meet them. The disconnect is not only frustrating, it is fundamentally unsustainable. Inside the classroom, the challenges continue to grow. A lack of consistent, meaningful consequences for disruptive behavior has created an environment where the actions of a few significantly hinder the learning of many. Students who come to school ready to learn are being denied the educational experience they deserve. At the same time, we cannot ignore the broader cultural shift in expectation placed on schools. Educational institutions are being asked to fill roles that extend far beyond academics. Schools cannot replace parental involvement, discipline, and guidance. When students leave school and are met primarily with screens instead of structure and accountability, it compounds the challenges education faces daily. The school system can educate your children, but it cannot, and I repeat, cannot and should not be expected to raise these students. From a statewide perspective, North Carolina continues to rank near the bottom nationally in per pupil spending and teacher compensation, often landing in the low 40s among states. The rankings are not just statistics, they reflect real limitations that impact classrooms across this state. The long-term implications should concern all of us. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce leaders, decision makers, and school board members. If we continue down this path of financial mismanagement, reduced support, and inconsistent accountability, we are jeopardizing the future we are depending on our students to build. Thank you.
Is there a Victor in the room? Okay, moving on. Last speaker of the night will be Mr. Wade Stroop.
Thank you, board members. I'm Wade Strout, 101 Elm Street, Cherryville, and I also serve as the mayor of the city of Cherryville. I spoke here a month ago stating my and the city of Cherryville's strong and unwavering support for Beam Intermediate to remain open. We were told this is just being studied, nothing's decided, there will be a public hearing. However, it is 1 month later and there has been no public information, no outreach to the Cherryville community, and no answers to questions. there was information disseminated by the school system on a community forum scheduled for April 21st. Yes, tomorrow, in Cherryville. Parents received text and voice message communications of that, and those notices coincided with this board's published consolidation timeline, which stated the weeks of April 12th and April 19th, there would be community forums, school visits, broad communication of plans, targeted engagement, and deeper conversations at impacted schools. Then we hear there was never a forum scheduled or confirmed. Doesn't seem to be a proper communication of plans. I continue to hear from many parents and students and even educators, this is a done deal, no sense wasting your time. I certainly hope this is not the case. I came here today with one goal, and that is to plead for each of you to understand where our community is coming from. We are close-knit, proud, and our students on every grade level deserve every opportunity and every chance at a legitimate education, equally, fairly, and the same as every other student in this county. I feel for the tough decisions you face. I certainly empathize with those affected. But whatever has happened in the past, whatever poor decisions were made that led to this budget crisis, it did not come from the taxpayers, it did not come from the teachers, it did not come from the students, and it most assuredly did not come from Cherryville's 4th and 5th graders. Beam Intermediate was offered and given to our community by this school board 20 years ago as the only choice for overcrowding of Cherryville Elementary. And even though there's no logical or practical reason that Beam is the only school in this county being considered for closure. What? If you continue on this course of action, it has to be done 100% with full due diligence, with fact-based answers, and it has to be done openly, honestly, and 100% in daylight of what's happening behind closed doors. Every student in Gaston County deserves that. Every 4th and 5th grader in Cherryville deserves that. Eli Christie deserves that.
The board would like to thank everyone who signed up for public expression tonight. Those that we were not able to get to, we encourage to attend a future meeting and sign up. We will try our best to get you through that. We extended our time by 15 minutes again tonight. The board will now take a 5-minute recess. Thank you. The board is back in session. The next item on the agenda is approval of correction of minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from our March 16th regular meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes? Mr. Ramsey, second by Mr. Stevens. Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is our committee reports. First on the list is the Operations Committee, and that is chaired by Mr. Brent Moore, who is absent tonight, and the report will be given by Ms. Dot Cherry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Operations Committee met here in the boardroom on March 30th, and the report is as follows. The Operations Committee met in the Central Office boardroom on Monday, March 30th at 12:30. The committee consists of Chairman Brent Moore, myself, Lee Dedman, and Todd Kinlaw. Our agenda discussion included the following. Finance updates. Superintendent Huchard thanked the Gaston County Board of Commissioners for the $10 million transfer to the Gaston County Schools. He also shared that he will meet later this week with Hurd Eisenhower Lopes, HIL, to discuss the 25-26 budget. Over the past 6 months, the district has been reviewing financial practices, including better aligning with state allotments. Reduction in force, or RIF. Superintendent Huchard and Beth Super presented information on the process for the 26-27 reduction in force in accordance with policy 7820, reduction in force in the state law. Utilization study. Chief of Staff Tom Nanzetti shared Gaston County Schools is conducting a utilization study to better use of school facilities and plan for future enrollments. The study aims to maximize facility use, reduce capital cost, align space with current and projected enrollments, and identify solutions that support engaging learning environments. School closings, consolidations, processes, and timelines. And this is information only. Assistant Superintendent of Operations Bessie Harvey presented the school closing and consolidation process and timelines for WB Beam Intermediate and Gaston Virtual Academy, including dates on strategic forums, public hearings, senior leaders meetings, Operations Committee reviews, and cabinet reviews. Technology support and service updates. Chief Technology Officer Curtis Poplin reports that on E-rate funding, which supports internet connectivity and equipment. TSS will submit the required Form 471 for funding request and will wait for approval before moving forward with the $1.36 million in needed purchases. The digital learning and media inventory at each school is due by May 29th, 2026. Human Resources update. Executive Director Beth Suber shared that optional benefits open enrollment runs through May 29th. In March, the substitute fill rate was 90%, up from 28% last year, with 4,832 absences recorded. A total of 126 employees have retired or will retire at the end of the year. Human Resources is also planning a retirement information session with details to come. In addition, the following items were discussed by the committee and recommended for approval on the consent agenda tonight. Cramerton Middle School right-of-way and easement acquisition from NCDOT, Microsoft software agreements, South Point Baseball Stadium press box and concession design, Belmont Central and New Hope pre-construction and master agreement, emergency repair for Hunter Huss Cooling Tower, Forest View synthetic turf field and track installation, and South Point boiler header replacement. The next Operations Committee will be held on Monday, May the 4th, beginning at 12:30 here in the Central Office boardroom. And that's the report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. So next report is from our Curriculum and Instruction Committee. The chair of that committee is Mr. Jeff Ramsey.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Stevens is going to do the report tonight. The Curriculum and Instruction Committee met at the Central Office boardroom on Monday, March the 30th, 2026 at 3 p.m. The committee consists of Chairman Jeff Ramsey, Robbie Lovelace, Janice Smith, and A.M. Stevens III. Our agenda discussions included the following:
finance updates, reduction in force, utilization study, school closing consolidations, process timeline, as previously reported from operations report. ATSI Schools federal grant. Associate Superintendent Ms. Tanya Kells presented the ABRI data platform funded by the state to support ATSI subgroups and all students. The system centralizes key data to provide real-time insight and support data-driven instruction. This item will appear on the consent agenda for board approval later this evening. Student assignment and choice programs information. Assistant Superintendent Rebecca Powers presented updates from student support services, including schools closed to transfer. The list of schools closed to transfer for the 2026-2027 school year due to capacity was presented. And these schools include Belmont Central, W.A. Bess, Hunter Huss, Bessemer City Central, Cramerton Middle, North Gaston, New Hope, Ashbrook, South Point, Pleasant Ridge, Forest View, and additional schools may be added based on enrollment. Choice programs. Dr. Powers shared that Dr. Parker is collecting data through a CTE survey with a report to follow. Feedback is also being gathered from the Parent Advisory Council. Additionally, the Teacher Working Condition Survey has been completed. Innovation Schools 2.0. Ms. Tanya Kells outlined next steps for the Innovation School Strategy, focusing on leadership, teacher roles, and professional development. She proposed adding 1 middle and 1 high school to the current 10, with sites still to be determined. The goal is to create a model for high-quality, data-driven teaching and learning across the district. In addition, the following items were discussed by the committee and recommended for approval on the consent agenda. Leader in Me, renew the contract, 2025-26 content pedagogy. The next Curriculum and Instruction Committee meeting will be held on Monday, May the 4th, beginning at 3 p.m. in the Central Office Boardroom.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stevens. Our final report for the evening is the Policy Committee report that is chaired by Ms. Cherry, and I believe Mr. Stevens is going to do that report. Thank you, sir.
The Policy Committee met at the Central Office Boardroom on Monday, March 30th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. The committee consists of Chair Dot Cherry, Janice Smith, and A.M. Stevens III. Our agenda discussions included the following. The committee reviewed several technology policies with guidance regarding recommended revisions from Chief Technology Officer Curtis Poplin. Policies 3220, technology in the educational program, policies 3230, as well as 7370, technology responsible use, and policies 3280 as well as 7385, web page development, were recommended for approval and will be presented on the consent agenda. Policy 3226, internet safety, was tabled for further review. The committee also reviewed athletic policies 3103, homeschool dual enrollment for athletes, 4315, alcohol and drug abuse policy for student athletes, 4316, eligibility for transfer athletes, and policy 4395, suspension from participating in extracurricular activities, with input from Assistant Superintendent Rebecca Powers. After discussion, all 4 athletic policies were tabled for additional review to ensure alignment with district practice and student needs. The next Policy Committee meeting will be held on Monday, May 4th, beginning at 4 p.m. in the Central Office Boardroom.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, and thank you to all the committee members for all their hard work. Next on our agenda is the approval of the Gaston County Schools budget request. And this is the request to the County Commission. Last month, the superintendent presented his proposal and recommendations for the local budget as would be presented to the County Commission. The board will adopt a budget tonight. Working with Dr. Huchard, there have been some adjustments through what we've done, so we'll give him an opportunity to share those adjustments with us. And then after that, we can have a discussion and a vote. And again, this is an action item. Dr. Hushard.
Thank you, Chairman Chris. Board members, I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce the Gaston County Board of Education budget request for the 26-27 school year. I'd like to start with telling you how proud I am of our strategic plan work, where we had over 2,000 stakeholders participate with this development. I also want to share with you that this is a living document that we use every day to guide the work that we do. I'm also proud that we have included measurable goals to help keep the work that we do in line with supporting high-quality teaching and learning and to keep us in check. Our plan proudly displays our vision, mission, core values, as well as 6 priorities for us to use. And one of those priorities is to ensure sustainable and financial stewardship that ensures transparency of financial resources to support meaningful education for the long term. So school systems operate from 3 funding sources, and they are federal, state, and local. Federal and state funding is prescribed to us by both entities, and it is based on many factors such as student numbers and needs. Our local portion of revenue is the funding source where you, the board, must make a request to local government, in essence, our county commissioners. Briefly, what local operating expenses support for us is teacher and instructional employee supplements, principal and assistant principal supplements. They pay all of our utility bills and insurances, essential services and support, instructional supplies, technology, and think hardware, software, wireless, facilities salaries, that also pays their benefits, and any contracted services. It also includes a school to charter schools. And then the second part of a request from the county deals with capital maintenance funds. These are different than our other requests. And capital maintenance funds take repairs and capital goods into consideration, such as roofing, electrical systems, any HVAC repair, technology, furniture, life safety equipment, etc. So think capital on that. So the Board of Education request for the 26-27 school year is as follows. The board asks that Gaston County appropriate what they did last year in $54,801,704. Also an additional $2,832,000 for ongoing expenses such as inflation, state increases, and benefits. And then at least a $500,000 supplement to support teacher supplements further. So the total request for local operating is $58,133,704. There's also a capital maintenance request, which covers about 0.78 cents a square foot, and the board is requesting the same as last year of $4 million. Mr. Chairman, that's the presentation, and open it up for discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Hushard and board. As we have since the first of this year, including 2 evening work sessions, work during committees, and other times to discuss the budget. You have that in front of you. Is there any discussion on Dr. Hushard's presentation tonight? Yes, ma'am.
When will this be presented to the county commissioner?
I don't think we have a final date on that yet, but it should be at the end of May.
We have to report to county commissioner by May 15th.
Yes, ma'am. Any additional comments, questions on the budget as presented by the superintendent?
I know there was a change. What was the change? I didn't see that handout. Just curious.
Dr. Hushard, you want to?
Sure. The change from my original, yeah. We cut out some benefits and salaries, about $3 million. The difference in the 13 and 15% of special ed, which was $3 million.
Any additional?
Based on things I hear from people saying, and based on our situation, could we not use more? I do know that they have a tremendous fund balance I saw on the table.
It's realistic.
Ma'am?
It's realistic.
Well, being realistic and what you need is something else.
Wait.
I agree, but it's realistic.
Well, I didn't say it's not realistic. I'm just saying that, do we need more? Do we have you've heard a lot of people speak
speak tonight about certain things. I mean, and I hear it all the time. I'm sure you're getting the same emails I do that we, you know, we may need to ask more so we can get more of our students. I mean, we're not getting it for our salary. I mean, I don't think that if you add all of ours together, we not make what a county commissioner makes a.
So
I don't know. I'm just.
It is real. We still have a state budget, Mr. Devon, so it's hard to say. I don't know what the state funds are for this year, let alone going into next year. So there's a lot of uncertainties. Again, we are righting the ship from the loss of COVID funding, which we hired a lot more employees than we could have sustained, losing that low wealth, that $7 million after we started the school year. That won't happen again, so it's hard to say. Yeah, we probably need more, but I also know that we try to shoot in leadership for a realistic number as well.
I think it's important to understand that, and to remember on our part, that because there is not a state budget, we're only operating, in addition to the other cuts we've had, loss of low wealth, all those things, we're only operating at 80% of our previous year's budget. And that's how we have to do it by state law. So I think to Dr. Huchard's point, after having numerous conversations with our, with county and those folks, I think this is as realistic as we can get in a budget for this year. I mean, I want more. I want more in my house, right? You know, but I think when it comes down to it, it has to be a realistic ask. Any additional comments? Any additional comments on the budget? So we need a motion to approve
Wait, I
this
have
budget.
one comment,
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
don't mind. I think it would be great, especially considering the conversations we've heard tonight about, we heard, some public expression concerning why we are painting buildings versus not putting that towards pay. Can we please elaborate and clarify how dollars are given to us from sources and we are not allowed to cross funds?
Yeah, and I was going to answer that when you all voted on it as well. So there are two clear funding sources. One is capital and one is for personnel, right? And the two cannot mix. So we have money through bond campaigns. If you remember, a $250 million bond campaign was passed in 2018. That money can and only be used for capital projects. So think, again, school replacement. We've done several schools with that. Think HVAC and boiler replacements. Think school additions. So it's that. None of that money can be used to pay personnel. So yes, you will see schools getting new turf or stadiums getting built or water systems being upfitted, and we are laying people off at the same time, and that's unfortunate. But that is the reality of how we can spend those funds. That explains.
Yes, so is there any way that we can ask for less capital and more operational funds?
Well, the capital is so we have two forms of capital. Let me be clear.
The local, from local.
The local,
Mm-hmm.
the $4 million. I don't know. We operate at 78 cents per square foot if we get $4 million, and the national average is about $1.37. So I think Bessie Harvey would tell you, the team, it's hard to keep our facilities clean and running and in order at 78 cents a square foot with 5.5 million square feet.
Thank you. That was just a point of clarity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramsey?
Yes, I knew we talked about for years is increasing the supplements where we can be competitive with other counties, and we're still lower than that. So I would encourage us to make that a point, our county commissioners, that we need to supplement increase as much as we can.
Right. And I do want to clarify, Mr. Ramsey, that of the 54 million we got last year, 9 million of that goes to teacher supplement. I want to be very clear. So it's not like there's not a large chunk of that going to teacher supplement. Is it enough? No, sir. You've heard me say that time and time again. But just for clarity, that is a progressive number. And right now, of $54 million that we get, 9 of it goes to teacher supplement. Yes, it needs to be more, but just for clarity's sake.
Additional comments? Any additional discussion? So I need a motion to approve Dr. Huchard's budget to be presented to the county commission. Ms. Smith?
Second.
Ms. Cherry? Any discussion after the motions? Hearing none, all in favor? Appears to be unanimous. Thank you. So, Dr. Huchard, you are still on the board for a process and timeline for consideration of school consolidations.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me some time to discuss the process and timeline for the consideration of school closings and consolidation. We first considered a feasibility study on March 30th at a committee meeting. And this evening, I would like to take a few minutes to present the process and timeline to all. I'd first like to discuss two school consolidations. They are with Gaston Early College and Gaston Virtual Academy. As you know, we're very proud of our early colleges, and we feel by having these two innovative early colleges share more resources, the district can enhance instructional opportunities and potentially expand coursework and opportunities for all of our students as they prepare for career in college. By a more consolidated approach, we feel we can leverage staff expertise, enhance student support, academic programming, as well as save funding dollars to better serve students. This consolidation will enhance operational efficiency and support and foster academic consistency. This will be a consolidation of resources and does not require board action. The consolidation of Gaston Virtual Academy is designed to enhance the instructional quality, strengthen staff collaboration, and ensure consistent delivery of curriculum across all grade levels. With this consolidation, we feel the district can provide a more comprehensive and educational experience while maintaining the flexibility and strengths of a virtual model. Overall, this consolidation supports operational efficiency, academic consistency, and improved student outcomes while ensuring a smooth and supportive transition for students, staff, and family. GVA elementary students and staff will transition to McAdenville Elementary School, allowing students to benefit from a more traditional elementary school experience, including increased social interaction and access to in-person support. This transition also enables teachers to actively participate in professional learning communities with their peers, fostering collaboration, alignment of instructional practices, and consistency in curriculum implementation. GVA middle and high school students will be housed at Stuart Kramer High School, creating opportunities for structured support, access to campus resources that are age appropriate, and alignment with district-wide academic expectations. This model promotes continuity in instruction while increasing opportunities for engagement and academic success. And Mr. Chairman, like the consolidation with the early colleges, this does not require board action. W. Blaine Bean, we continue to work on a feasibility study to present to the board on moving students potentially from W. Blaine Beam Intermediate to Cherryville Elementary School and John Chavis Middle School. That is all the work my staff has done to this point. I've asked them to look into the feasibility of such a move. There are procedures and processes that must be followed, and I'd like to share that information with you all at this time and a potential timeline. First, we are guided by the work by General Statute 115C-72. This is entitled Consolidation of Districts and Discontinuance of Schools. The legislation gives you, the board, the authority to close and combine schools as you deem necessary. The general statute has a few requirements that I've summarized for everyone here tonight. So General Statute 115C-72 requires a thorough study of a school closing or consolidation. We must also keep in mind the welfare of the students to be affected. It must take into consideration geographic conditions, anticipated increase or decrease in school enrollment, inconvenience or hardship that might result, the cost of providing additional school facilities, and that the school board must provide a public hearing. We are also referring to the work that has been done previously in Gaston County Schools with regards to Rhine and Forest Heights Elementary School. The board went through this similar process of closing schools a few years ago, and many of you were on the board at the time. You were a part of that process. So, a proposed timeline and process, we are going to consult General Statute 115C-72 and follow it to the letter. We are going to use a resource guide called School Closing Procedures Related to the Public Schools of North Carolina, produced by the Department of Public Instruction. It was produced in January of 2019. We're going to take the processes and procedures from the closing of Rhine and Forest Heights Elementary School and look at those. We are conducting and still conducting a feasibility study to present both to operations and curriculum committees on May 4th. Once that is presented to our committee meetings, we will present it to the Board of Education, through the committees May 4th. The study will be made public, and it will go on a web page designed by our communications department to handle this process. We will have an open house at Cherryville Elementary School and John Chavis Middle School for students and parents to visit what this might look like if it's approved. And then we will have a public hearing. And at the moment, right now, that is to be determined. But that will come after we present to the committees on May 4th. And then the final operation is for the Board of Education to make a recommendation and a decision. And we hope that will take place one way or another on June at our Board of Education meeting. Mr. Chairman, that's kind of my results, my words on the process, timeline, and consideration of school closings and consolidation.
Thank you, Dr. Huchard, and that was an informational item for the board. Any questions for Dr. Huchard on that process and procedure? Hearing none, we will move on. Next on our agenda is the consent agenda. Hear a motion to approve the consent agenda. Ms. Cherry, second by Mr. Ramsey. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
I was going to ask Dr. Bouchard if he would please explain to everyone listening at home as well as here about every item on here is either capital funds or bonds, but I think Janice Smith has already covered that. Is there anything else you need to add?
I don't think, unless the board has questions about that.
And I think just for that point of clarification, the money spent here is all capital allotted funds that cannot be addressed anywhere else.
It's important to see that we will see new things happen in our schools as far as capital goes. At the same time, we will unfortunately be having to reduce in force.
Any additional comments or discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? That's unanimous. And the final item on our agenda is superintendent's comments. Dr. Huchard.
All right, final report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I do have a few announcements I'd like to share with you this evening. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that last week was a tough week for Gaston County Schools. We began our reduction in force process last week, and many individuals were given notices stating that their job next year would not exist. It was a rough week for some. I want everyone to know that we are working tirelessly to offer those employees other employment through attrition and retirements, which takes time. And I know that does not make it any easier for them at this time, but I want everyone to know that we will continue to support and do what we can for all our employees throughout this process. On other news, I want to share we had a wonderful time celebrating our STAR students in the class of 2026 and their STAR teachers in Gaston County. Everything about the STAR Teacher Student Award Ceremony was just great, and we would like to say thank you to GSM Services for sponsoring the recognition program once again this year. The ceremony was recorded and it will be aired on Channel 21 beginning next week. The video will also be available on our website and YouTube channel, and we'll be recognizing the STAR students and STAR teachers on social media as part of our salute to the class of 2026. And folks, that is not to miss. That is a special night. This Thursday, April 23rd, we have our annual Evening of Excellence Awards ceremony at 6:30 p.m. at Stuart W. Kramer High School. This will be a night not to miss where we will honor all of our departments and divisions of the school system through our people who make a difference every day. Again, this year, the Evening of Excellence program is being sponsored by Truist Bank, and we're looking forward to recognizing our outstanding educators and finding out who our of the years and department representatives are for the 26-27 school year. We also have the Gaston County Education Foundation and Courage Kia in Gastonia as additional partners for this, and we thank them. Anyone may attend the Evening of Excellence ceremony, and we hope to have a full house to celebrate our outstanding educators. We want to remind everyone that the Through an Artist's Eyes art show program is this Sunday, April 26th at 2 p.m. at the former Armstrong Athletic Club building, which is next door to the Hawks Nest STEAM Academy. The exhibits feature the most outstanding artwork by students in Gaston County schools, and we look forward to recognizing the art show winners during this program. A note for our high school seniors, Gaston College will host senior night on Thursday, April 30th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is a great opportunity and chance for our students to learn about the many opportunities that Gaston College right here in our backyard has to offer. We want to remind our student athletes and their parents about the annual Gaston County Schools Sports Physical Day. It happens on Saturday, May 9th at Caramount Outpatient Surgery Center in Gastonia. Appointment times are available from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and student athletes should and can take advantage of this opportunity to complete a physical for the upcoming fall sports season. The cost is free, but space is limited, so students should see their coach and school athletic directors for more information. We also want to let all of our parents know about Sunbucks. It is a program from the Department of Agriculture that helps families buy groceries during the summer months when school is not in session and school meals aren't being served. Eligible families will receive a one-time bonus of $120 per child on a debit-like card, and the card can be used to purchase nutritious food during the summer months when school's out. For more information, you can find that on our Gaston County Schools webpage and on the Administration Announcements tab. Two more, we want to remind our community that registration for kindergarten and pre-kindergarten is going on. We're excited about that, and parents can register on the website as well. And finally, we'd like to send our best wishes to North Gaston High School. The Leader in Me Lighthouse School Review Team will be at North Gaston next week, and if all goes as expected, we will be able to recognize North Gaston at the May board meeting with the earning of the Lighthouse School of Distinction, which I can assure you is no easy task. Mr. Chairman, appreciate your patience and board members tonight, and that completes my comments for the evening, and we do not need a closed session as far as I know.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. And as we close tonight, we do want to thank everyone for their participation. We do appreciate the community coming and talking to us, and that is an important part of our process. As we close, I'd also like to recognize Mr. Moore's birthday, which is April 4th. Our next regular board meeting will be held on May 18th, 2026. Again, as stated, we do not need a closed session. I need a motion to adjourn. Ms. Smith, Mr. Kinlaw, I guess somebody down that way. Lee's asleep, you fall asleep. Anybody got any discussion on closing the meeting? If not, all in favor? It's unanimous. Have a good night.